Okay, no, it's good.
All right. Okie doke. So the Mile High Metal Hour number 7, I believe. I think I only remember that because we finally got the Bandcamp up and going. So anyone who wants to actually listen to us now without looking at us, Bandcamp's the place to do it. It's all free, of course. So.
Or donations, you know.
Oh, yeah. Buy microphones or something.
Yeah.
Actually, I bought one that we tried to use for demoing the other night, and it was just like one of these plug and go ones, and it was
right.
like it was like too sensitive. Like as soon as we started playing, just nothing but like static and hissing. Yeah. So today we're going to talk about the new Gwar record, and I guess the state of Gwar in general. But before that, I'm going to go cover some of the stuff we've been jamming out here as we get toward the end of the year and year-end lists start to come out. We just got Decibel today, I guess was the first big one.
Yeah, now it'll all start trickling in.
Right. Hopefully they're better than Decibels. It was like really not interesting.
I feel like it was late this year. Last year I thought they started earlier, but whatever.
I suppose it's possible. I don't know. I think it was weird because usually it doesn't matter which list I see. There's usually a bunch of stuff I haven't heard. But yeah, I think I had pretty much heard all of the Decibel.
Decibel's usually the most prevalent one, I guess.
Right.
But usually theirs are pretty predictable. So I like to cruise through all the other ones and see what is on there.
Right. Yeah, I think like Invisible Oranges will of course have some like totally weird obscure shit. And
yeah. They had a couple of far out there picks of Decibel. I thought there was some interesting choices they made, but most of them I thought were pretty obvious for them.
Right.
You read Decibel. I do. I read Decibel. Well, more like I skim through it occasionally when I get it.
Right.
Like if you just read the reviews, you can tell which ones they're gonna pick.
I got the newest issue, the Cannibal Corpse issue.
Right.
Yeah, I bought it because it had the ad for the Willhaven record in it.
Right.
And I was like, sweet. And that ad turned out to be a total lie. So.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be out Friday, according to that ad. It is not, in fact. So.
I used to enjoy it a lot more than I do now. I only really read it for reviews and to see what's coming out because usually they're advertising there before anywhere else. I'm like, oh yeah, it's coming out.
Right.
And what's his face's cranky article? Krieg, dude. I always forget his name.
Neil Jameson.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, anyways, year-end lists are coming. That'll probably be our next episode. But it's been a doozy of a year trying to catalog all this shit and really pick out winners. I mean, there's a couple of obvious ones, but it's been even as we're this late in the year, there's still great stuff coming out. So.
Yeah, I expect the new Morbid Angel will be top of my list.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about that. All about it.
No, it probably won't be, but it can't be worse than that last one though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the one song it was at least death metal.
Yeah, that's true.
So, what else? I guess the only real big name one for me recently was the new Godflesh.
Yeah, I'm not much into them, so you're on your own on that.
Right. It's Godflesh, and they kind of turn into Gothflesh halfway through it. It's like a little more front-loaded with the heavy stuff and a little more back-loaded with the more posty kind of stuff they do. But yeah, it's good. It's Godflesh.
Yeah, along the same vein of bands who do their thing very well. That new Electric Wizard is kind of them doing Electric Wizard. But a little more stripped down, I think. They're like only 45 minutes long. It's kind of weird for Electric Wizard album to come in under.
It is weird. And I've seen like it was weird when it came out. My Facebook feed was blowing up with either new Electric Wizard record, or I hate the new Electric Wizard. And I thought that was like, it seemed like it was about between the love and the hate. And I don't even mind them trimming the fat. Like it's still just Electric Wizard to me. Like, so there's a few less minutes of feedback.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think people are upset because they cut out the audio samples.
Oh, right.
Horror movies or weird cult stuff they put in there, but
Right.
I don't give a shit. I don't love Electric Wizard, nor do I hate them. I really like Dope Throne and what's the one after that or before that? I forget the Molly Faithful or something, whatever that is.
Right.
And then Black Mass, I really like that one quite a bit. But I think all their albums are pretty good. So
right. Yeah, I'm about in the same spot with them.
This one I like a little better than the last one. I forget what it's called now. Time to Die, maybe. But
yeah, and this one's the Bloody Wizard, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of cheesy Sabbath reference so late in their career, but whatever.
Right. Like, in case none of you got this.
Yeah.
We fucking like Sabbath.
But
yeah, I guess got a really big one, but
yeah, I think Electric Wizard is probably a big one, but I've just been listening to odds and ends stuff, mostly the getting ready for the best of list. And the new Procession came out. I like that quite a bit. And speaking of Doom, that new Ram, I know you've really been into that.
Dude, can't stop.
It's a clever name, Ram. Rod.
Right.
Reminds me of Super Troopers.
Yeah, totally.
Team Ramrod.
It's weird. The press has been quiet about that record, and I guess that I feel like they've always been quiet about Ram. Like they just are there in their own little sphere doing their thing. Throwback or what? But man, I fucking love those records. The new one especially, I think, is the best.
Of the throwback bands, I think they're one of the we're doing it better than a lot of them.
Right.
Which is good because a lot of them start to melt together after a while.
Totally.
I think the other big one we're kind of getting a little mainstream today with Gwar and Electric Wizard and everything. Cannibal Corpse had a new album out.
Right.
I'm not a huge Cannibal Corpse fan, but I kind of always just give them a listen whenever they put something out.
Right.
I think they're talented musicians, particularly the bass player. But I just never really got all crazy for them. But like I said, I listened to them when they put out. But this one was really fucking good, even for Cannibal Corpse. Like.
Right. Yeah, I haven't really figured out if it's the production or the songwriting's that much better, but there's like much more potent energy going on in this one. Like it's urgent and it kind of blew me away just because I was expecting more Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little not quite, but it's a little more energetic like their first couple, but
right. But yeah, that's killer stuff. I'm hoping to go to that show on Tuesday. We'll see what happens. I guess that's tomorrow. Shit. Yeah, we'll see.
It's been in my car. Been on in my car quite a bit. It's good driving music.
Right.
And speaking of gore death metal, there was an Autopsy EP that came out too, which was kind of
that just snuck in there.
Shadowed by Cannibal Corpse, and rightfully so.
Right. Yeah, also good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get mileage out of Autopsy, I mean, it's more Autopsy.
Yeah.
It's good. I found this in the depths of Bandcamp, found a couple in the last week that Crystal Balls that I was going on about, fuzzy, stonery stuff, complimented the Electric Wizard. And then another one I just found called Caverns, like Caverns, Caverns. It's like from God knows where, but I guess it's like a rehearsal demo, and holy fuck, man, it is just crushing. It's like the only thing I'm finding about this band. There's like 100 likes on their Facebook, these 3 tracks on Bandcamp, and they just fucking crush.
So. I had a Bandcamp discovery recently too. This band called Lady Beast, which I've really been digging. They put out, speaking of more traditional metal stuff, they had an EP out earlier this year, which was pretty cool. And then just out of nowhere, they're like, "Hey, guess what? We have a new album coming." I'm like, oh shit! So I bought it on Bandcamp, and it's fucking awesome.
Right.
I feel like they're what Crystal Viper wants to be now.
Totally.
Just beat Crystal Viper at their own game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that Crystal Viper I think I put on once, and was all right. But
yeah, it was all
I
right.
didn't go crazy. But yeah, that lady.
There's a good Grim Reaper
rad as
on there, but yeah, that's it. Besides, I mean, there's just random shit and going back. Because that time of year, I go back and listen to all that stuff and try to decide what's the best and what gets on my list. Like I'm some, almighty decider, but
you're an internet tastemaker, Kevin.
It's fun. I enjoy it because then I forget about stuff or I hear different things and albums I neglected, or there's always a couple that I listen to consistently throughout the year that I know are going to be highly ranked. And then there's some that are always like, oh shit, that was really good. I forgot how good that was. And then when the other lists are coming out, then I'll start going through those, and inevitably I'll find one that's like, oh, that would have made my list. But
yeah, I think the biggest competition for me was in the black metal. There's so much of it that was good, so I think I just on my list just kind of leaned towards some newer bands and some debut records. But it's like there's so much of it, it's just been kind of arbitrary. Like, you're all great. You go here, you go here.
Yeah, well, it looks like, at least as far as what I'm waiting for, most of the things are released and it's slowing down for the year, so I'll have some time to finish this off. I think I'm almost there. Think about it, but
yeah, I think so too.
One band that's not on the list. Go ahead. Will not be the one band that's not on the list. Will be Gwar.
Right.
Not to be negative or anything, but
but just real quick before we segue into Gwar, we did the flea market at Black Sky, the heavy metal flea market, and we had a great time, and it was awesome talking to people. So if you said what up to us and you were there, thank you for checking it out and saying hello. It was a good time. We will be back for sure.
Yeah, we might get a newsletter together soon, maybe beginning of the year or something. Yeah.
But anyways, so Gwar will not be making our year-end list.
I'll preface this with a little bit. I know Gwar is a little more mainstream than we're used to talking about on the show here, but I've been a Gwar fan for long time, since before I was really into metal at all. Since I was a kid, and I feel like this new one is a very big directory change for the band. And I don't know, it's like a new era, so I thought it was worth talking about. So,
well, a new era forced by the Grim Reaper's hand, obviously, with Brockie no longer being around.
Yeah, in case any of you don't know about Gwar, just Google that shit right away. And so their former lead singer Dave Brockie, who was the character Oderus Urungus, died 3 or 4 years ago now.
Yeah, and heroin, right?
Heroin overdose. And Gwar's had members die before. I know Corey Smoot, I believe his name was, who was Flatus Maximus.
I think so.
Guitar player.
Yeah.
He died of a heart condition, I thought it was. And I thought someone else might have died, but I don't know.
And even if they haven't died, many have moved on, and Gwar has changed a lot over the years.
Yeah, there's been a revolving door of members, but Oderus was the one that always was the linchpin of that, I think.
Right. Well, I mean, it's kind of easy to replace guys when you're wearing masks and you don't have a human face to associate with band members anyway.
Right.
But I mean, the voice is a whole other story.
So when he died, I think, like most Gwar fans, we just assumed that we're gonna keep going on.
Right.
I know that Brockie had said before that was his dream for the band, is they would just go on forever, and essentially they can. But once he was gone and they started performing again with their new singer, who is actually an old member of Gwar. He was bass player for back in the day. I don't recall if he was one of the original members or not, but I know he was one of the older members, and he came and went over the years as well. So they announced that after Brockie died, or not right after, but soon enough. And I thought, oh, that sounds like a good idea. He was integral on some of those earlier albums like Scum Dogs and America Must Be Destroyed. And that would be a perfect fit. He's already been in the band here, knows the shtick. And he started singing performance stuff. And it starts to occur to you that, like, yeah, Gwar could go on eternally, but they really lost something with Brockie.
Right. And I think you make a good point, like bringing up, watching it live first. And I think as like a live entity, it still does work. Like it still looks like a lot of fun, and those are still Gwar songs. And like, I don't think I'd shy away from that experience, but it is different. And I think the question of an album, now getting to hear the album, was like really kind of changed the way I thought about it a little bit. Yeah,
so that was kind of my feeling about it too. I haven't seen them since they switched, or since the new singer took over. I forget what his character's name is. I think it's
Lothar.
I have it open here. Yeah, Lothar. And I don't know how he fits into the story. I kind of don't pay attention to the story anymore. But I haven't seen him live since Lothar joined the band. They had another member come in and go real quick too. Some lady whose name I can't remember, but there was some drama there. But anyways, I kept saying, yeah, that's cool that they're still doing shows, but I really want to hear what they do on a new album. And it took them a couple years to get there, understandably, and I'm surprised they got there so quickly. But that album finally came out a couple weeks ago, and it's called was it Blood of Gods? I don't have it open.
Yep.
Shit, I just passed it. Where'd it go? The Blood of Gods, yeah. And yeah, I was pleased with Lothar as a character and his dealings with people, and he sounds like he fit right in. He's got a cool costume, and
right.
But the new album, I heard it, and it didn't. It didn't seem like Gwar to me.
Right. I think of all the criticism I have of the record, I think that might be my biggest and the most crucial is when I first heard it. If I hadn't had the title sitting in front of me on my computer, chance I would not have known it was Gwar. Like, right. If someone just played it to me, like, oh, check this out, I'm like, oh, this is cool. What is it? But yeah, I mean, lyrically, I guess at parts, but man, it's off.
What really struck me upon first listen through was, Gwar has always kind of changed musical sounds here and there, but they were back to a more metal focus. They have been since Violence
has arrived.
Which one that was? 2001 or 2002?
Right. Some live staples off that record now.
Yeah, and I mean they consistently put albums out every couple of years, so they've had 5 or 6 over the past 15 years or whatever it's been.
Right.
Some not as good as the others, but this one they really went in a different direction. I don't think they've been in yet. Is kind of like dad rock, like
right,
like DC kind of thing, which is appropriate right now. But a really kind of classic metal focus to it. I mean, there's still the heavy metal part, and there's a lot of punk, which I was expecting with Bishop back in the band.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I think those are the parts that work for them best. Is like the parts that remind me of their older punk outings. I think those are the parts where I find myself like grooving along the most.
Right.
Maybe that's because it's familiar. But I think part of that is like I get the shift insofar as you want it to sound. I mean, not that the last few Gwars haven't been good or fun, but like more fun, you know, like a little more upbeat sounding.
Right. And I realized what it was while listening to it. It was, I mean, nothing against Bishop's voice. He's got a cool voice, but Oderus was such a character and such a presence in that band.
Right.
I mean, he didn't just sing the songs; he was playing the parts and doing his voice was like a character unto itself, and it was all over the place. He had the weird kind of like goofy parts, and he had like the more metally growls to it, or he had the weird kind of like childlike mumbles. I mean, he was a performer through and through, and Bishop's not like that, at least not yet.
Or on record, anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I think like even the title track, or the first track, by the way, is my favorite on there. But it's called War on Gwar. And like, man, if there's ever a Gwar sounding song title, like that's it. Like, you know, you like on paper that sounds perfect, but like I don't know, I feel like, you know, had you had Oderus there, there'd be like you were just talking about his performance, some like goofy talking at the beginning and some, you know, just setting up a narrative rather than just like kicking into the song. And
right. But yeah, see, that's the problem I have with this album. I'm looking at it right now, but I don't remember War on Gwar.
Right.
I listened to it today. The ones that stand out to me are pretty much the ones that they were promoting beforehand. So El Presidente and Fuck This Place, I thought were the better songs, if you ask me.
Right.
I liked El Presidente because it had a kind of Saddam Go-Go vibe to it. They were getting the saxophone
right.
silly with it. And I was like, that's pretty cool. And Fuck This Place, it reminds me of some of their older, like straight to the point songs, like what's that one?
Sick of You, or
Eat Steel, or Crush, Kill, Destroy, or
right.
And then the cover song, which I thought was a perfect choice for them, but which is AC/DC's "If You Want Blood."
Right. Speaking of, real quick, rest in peace, Malcolm Young.
Yeah, so topical, relevant to right now.
Right.
But that's the song that I remember the most from this album. I think that's kind of a little reflective of the rest of the album.
Right. Yeah. And it's, again, like, I think the hardest thing about it is, like we both said, it's not in any shape like a bad record.
Right.
It's just an off Gwar record.
Yeah, I keep going back and thinking that it was. I can't help but be reminded of when the Misfits came back after so many years with a new singer, and their sound had changed drastically from the last time they recorded something with Danzig. And I enjoyed what they were doing, the new singer and stuff. But maybe that's because he didn't have so much to say about the songwriting. I feel like Bishop might have more involvement in the songwriting.
Right. And Danzig's not dead. That's also like...
Right, Danzig didn't die, but not yet.
Right.
Just on the inside. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little. I don't know if disappointing is the right word. It feels off. You said it perfectly earlier. It sounds like a Gwar cover band.
Right.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah, I was on Facebook this morning. It's a Gwar cover band that decided to write original music.
Yeah.
And I think that, I agree. That sums it up for me anyway.
I mean, I don't necessarily think that Gwar needs to like hang it up recording wise and just be a live band. And maybe this just takes some time to get used to with the new singer, and especially after everything else. And no expectations were or not expectations, but can't help but compare him to Oderus, who was such a part of that band for their entire existence.
Right, and that's another part of it too. I mean, when you talk about compare it to something like Misfits, Misfits was a flash in the pan.
Right.
70s, early 80s. I mean, it was just like it was here and then it was gone. And we grew up without Misfits being like an active force in the world, really.
Right.
But Gwar's been doing it for as long as I've been alive, and I've been paying attention to it for as long as I've been into music, basically.
Right.
And so it's a little different in that sense. There's like something less behind us about it. There was still just Gwar. Like you could always count on it.
Right. I guess maybe the disappointment for me is that I always imagined that they would go on eternally no matter what happened to the members. And I thought thought it would be Gwar, and then that did finally happen. And it seems odd. It seems different to me. And it's like we expect it to be a continuation and easy or a fluid motion, but it wasn't. It was like, oh, this is different now.
I do think on the other side of it, outside of just a fan perspective, it doesn't seem to have hurt their like commercial viability at all. I mean, they're like,
if anything, it's
still packing out. They're still packing out tours, and I mean, they did Warped Tour this summer and caused a little bit of controversy, which was hilarious. And
that's what they do. I mean,
the whole Linkin Park business.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah, if anything, I think it might have helped their popularity. I don't know if Gwar is necessarily, as super popular, but they've definitely peaked at a point, and now they've kind of, I think they're in that legendary status right now. They're kind of cruising on that, but like everyone knows Gwar.
Right.
No one has any like terrible stories about him or anything, so they've kind of just they're cruising on name alone right now. I think they have for quite some time, but
if there's any
Oderus, for sure,
if there's any name that you can cruise behind, like Gwar is a really pliable one,
right? And I mean, they haven't ever lost quality or integrity, if you ask me. I mean, they're going to be in town Friday or Saturday. I guarantee if we go see them, they're going to have an awesome fucking time.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree.
And I'm sure they'll sound awesome, and they've got good bands on the bill and everything, and so they've been doing that. It's just on the new album, it seems they seem off. They seem off their game, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. I'm sure it's a combination of the new singer, the new musical stylings, but it doesn't kind of mesh with me. They're kind of all over the place. And
right.
Usually they have a cohesive theme or something going on with an album, and this one it doesn't seem all there to me.
Right, I agree. I'm kind of that way about, I don't know, maybe a few of their older ones. God damn it, which one has fucking an animal on it?
Oh, We Will Kill Everything.
Yeah, so I think, isn't Nitro Burning Funny Bong on that one as well?
Yeah, that's probably the height of their ridiculousness.
Right, and like those two songs stick out at me, but like, I mean, I don't remember the last time I probably made it all the way through that record.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I think it's kind of that same problem, that all over the place thing.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
There's not a lot of like, so just to try and find balance within their back catalog, like, it's not just Mike Bishop or the new vocals. Like, they've had moments like this in their past where it's just been kind of off, but
right.
But and maybe I'm in the minority and everyone else loves that record a lot. Who knows? But
I don't. Oh yeah, or maybe I just have to get used to it. Maybe this is just a new phase of Gwar, and I'll just have to learn to get used to it or jump ship. So
right, which I don't know, for something that I held so dear for so long, I think like, I don't know, it would be weird to jump ship just because of Brockie too. You're like, man, it's like still in the spirit of which it was intended.
Right, like I'm having a similar quandary with Star Wars right now. So, like,
yeah, that's right.
But Gwar's not the first band to change vocalists, and it's not the first band that I've enjoyed to change vocalists. So, right. But it is one of the bands that's been more near and dear to my heart. It's been a band I've listened to for 20 years, maybe longer.
Right. And I think another thing you mentioned, like how they are punk and they are also metal, and they're like they're one of those bands that totally like bridge the genre gap. Like you go to a Gwar show, or at least back in the day, there's just as many punkers and crusties and all that as there was metal dudes. Like it was a really diverse crowd in that aspect. They appeal to everyone's humor and the silliness of it.
Yeah. It just seems like this might just be how Gwar is from now, which is fine, I guess. But first album out of the gate with the new singer after Oderus, I don't know, doesn't do much for me.
Right.
I'm sure I'll listen to it some more, but I'm not holding it up there with some of their middle of the range albums there. I think like some of the past couple before this were kind of like, but
right. And well, and then the question is, what do they do going forward? Like, how do they correct course?
Right, I'm sure they're just going to keep doing Gwar. I mean, another thing is kind of that's not very good is that Ballsack, I forget his real name, has some bone marrow disorder or something like that.
Right.
Once I forget his real name, Mike Dirks, I think his real name is.
Right. But the drummer, ladies and gentlemen.
Guitarist. One of the guitarists. Oh,
that's right. Jaws. Yeah. Jaws Death.
And he's been in the band probably since the beginning. I don't think they've ever replaced him or changed him out.
Right. And if you want to help with that, I'm fairly certain there's a GoFundMe.
Yeah, I know there's a GoFundMe for that. And he says he's going to continue to tour, but it's supposed to start taking its toll on him. So we'll see. But that could be another change for them as well.
Right.
I imagine they'll just soldier on. They have for so long. They'll probably just keep doing albums.
Right.
I imagine the next one will be a little different.
Right. And like again, there's plenty of bands out there that don't even have anything close to resembling an original lineup.
Right.
Or without all the fucking gimmicky stuff like Gwar. Like Napalm Death's a perfect example. Like they so transcend their original lineup.
Right.
Like no, Barney wasn't the original vocalist, but when you think of Napalm Death, it's synonymous with Barney as a vocalist.
Right, which is kind of Gwar is going to be pretty much Oderus. But we were talking about Cannibal Corpse earlier. They went through a similar thing years ago.
Right.
And I feel that George is pretty much the vocalist of that band. And when you think of Cannibal Corpse, you think of
I agree.
Corpse Grinder, not Barnes, even though he was on what I consider their best albums.
Classic ones.
Yeah. Right.
And I mean, those like you can't help it with those just totally genre-defying blueprint records. But they are what they are. But it also helps that fucking Barnes is kind of a piece of shit, and Corpse Grinder, by all counts, seems like a super likable guy. So.
Right. But then there's like the Misfits. Like I don't think Graves was as good as Danzig. Danzig's an asshole. Graves is an asshole. Like what do you do? Like
right.
Both of them are better than Jerry singing, but
oh god, yeah, Jerry's terrible.
Yeah, that's at least Gwar hasn't reached that level yet. Like Cannibal Corpse is still good. Gwar is still good. They're not a disaster on tour like the Jerry Only experience is.
Right.
That's what I call the Misfits now. But
right. Well, and I also think Gwar is like intelligent enough to know when and if it does hit at that point, that's like time to stop.
Yeah. But maybe I think the ultimate joke. Maybe they would just keep going even if they got so bad. But I think it might be kind of funny.
Maybe. God, that'd be hard pill to swallow, though. Like that one band you could always stand by. But I don't know. I think part of the difference is Gwar is like a bigger artistic vision than it is a band, Like
right. But they lost the narrative thread years ago. I have no idea what the story like, and I'm sure they did this. I'm sure it's just whatever they feel like doing at any given moment.
Right.
But yeah, there is a larger Gwar idea at work here.
Right. Well, that was its inception, right? Wasn't it like a multimedia project or some shit like that?
Yeah, and that's what I think people don't give them credit for enough, is that a lot of these gimmicky bands don't have the chops. They just have the gimmick. And I always think Gwar did. We're also really good musicians and wrote really good songs on top of the ludicrous, gimmicky costume and story and comic book kind of stuff they do.
Right. Well, and that's why like modern bands like Ghoul, I like Ghoul's music just fine. But when I see them live, all I think is like, oh, it's like Gwar Light.
Yeah, like, but they made no bones about it though. So
right, which is also okay. But
yeah,
it's still, they're the masters. Period.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it in bands like Ghoul and what was that other band I saw recently? I forget, but yeah, and everyone loves Gwar. But as far as I hope that they can go on like this. I don't have a problem with Bishop. It's just this one, not so much the Gwar I was hoping it would be. I was really hoping it would be like a war cry or something, like, yeah, fuck yeah, Gwar will soldier on and they'll be fucking awesome doing it. And I was like, I guess they're gonna keep going, which is good. But
right. But I think it's like important to like get back to that point of like, even if the record isn't thrilling and just kind of whatever, like it hasn't at all impacted my enjoyment of Gwar as a general thing.
Right.
Like it's been easy just to not like let Gwar get dragged down with it or anything. It's
right.
okay. Like reasonably, like you said, it would have been nice to have that totally balls out, like, we are Gwar, this is a statement kind of record. But yeah, I don't know. How do you get there? How do you do that after Brockie? Like,
I don't know. I just feel like the expectations for this band are different because they're so different than most bands.
Right.
And they could really do whatever they want. And I thought it would be a really cool artistic moment, I guess, or Gwar moment to do something like that, just to go fucking crazy.
Right.
And, subvert expectations for what the next phase of Gwar would be. But oh well. It's not bad. It's just in the middle, which is fine for now. But I'm sure it gives them reason to keep going on tour, which is where they really shine. So,
right.
Even though I won't be going to see them this time, but I've seen them probably 12, 13 times before. So.
Right, lots and lots. And I don't think Gwar will like throw you out of your shows for bringing your phone either, folks. That's like been the other metal like opinion shit going around all week.
Is that a conversation that's going on?
Oh yeah, I guess Maynard threw a shitload of people out of a Perfect Circle show or something like that.
Oh now, my God. All right.
It's been nothing but endless opinions on like, should you kick cell phone users out of concerts? Like,
Adam got kicked out of a Danzig show for that.
No shit.
Yeah, but he wasn't even trying to take a picture. I think he dropped his glasses or something, and he was using the light on his phone to find it, and they saw him. And
what?
Yeah, he's got a big policy about that.
Wow. Yeah, that's like, I mean, I personally like almost never have my phone out during shows. Like,
right, I take my picture and put it down, and then I'm like back to watching the show.
Right, and I even stopped taking pictures because my phone camera sucks and they always look shitty anyways, and whatever. But like, man, just to actually fucking kick people out who paid fucking good money to be there, fuck you.
Yeah, and if it's Perfect Circle too, they probably paid way more than they should have.
Right.
To fucking see that their asses kicked out by that idiot.
Right. Yeah, it was like upwards of like 60 people or something like that.
Oh my God, that guy's such an idiot. Yeah, if you have your phone out of Gwar, you might just get it ruined from the blood. So, I mean, selfie beware, I guess.
Right, which a bloody Gwar phone would be a way cooler memento than just the actual picture anyway. But
right. I used to keep T-shirts from Gwar shows, like white T-shirts, and they get all covered in blood.
Yeah.
But, after 20 years, they start to stink. So But I had a whole drawer full of them for a while. Like I'd never wear them again because they're so fucking gross. But
right.
at the time, like,
Yeah.
oh, I remember that one. That's got the purple shit. That was when I saw them that one time.
Right. And see, and there's like another testament to their power. Like, God, they're so linked with nostalgia and like while also existing in the contemporary world.
Yeah, that's
like Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, I saw them the second or third time I saw them was New Year's Eve, 1999, going into 2000, and that was Y2K and everything, and everyone thought the world was gonna fucking end.
Right.
I was like, well, what better place to be than at a fucking Gwar show? It's so random that they ended up in Denver on that day, and it was probably one of the better concerts I've ever been to in my life. Right. They played so long, past midnight. It was wild.
Yeah, that's fucking. I've always wondered like how I've seen them play it 2 hours plus, like a couple of times, like that in those costumes. Like it looks excruciating, fucking hot and terrible.
Yeah, but they've been doing it for so long. I'm sure they've got it down.
Right.
I also think I've seen them at like so many different venues in this state too. It's just like
right, of all different sizes and characters. I know I've seen them at the Ogden and the Bluebird. God, have I seen? I can't remember if I was also there.
Yeah, I've seen them at the Summit. This last time I saw them was at the Summit, and then
was that like a Halloween show or?
No, it was like 5 or 6 years ago. I forget. It wasn't anything special. And I saw him at the Gothic before that. I saw him at Fort Collins once. I saw him like.
Shit. Right. Well, yeah. We have anywhere else to go on this guy or?
Yeah, probably not. The cover art's kind of cool, but
fucking.
The boys got cool art, so.
Right. Yeah, it's cool. And then the only other member I miss that much is Slimentra. Not like she contributed to the music.
Yeah, they need another lady back in the band. They had that one woman for a while, and I forget what her name was.
Yeah.
I'll only look it up here. Okay, they have so many 4 members. I can't remember her name now, but she was in it like really quickly with when Bishop showed up as Lothar. Right. And I was like, oh sweet, one of our new singers is a woman. They're gonna bring back a woman like a side maestro. And then there was some drama or something, and then she just disappeared.
Yeah, I don't even remember the specifics, but it sounded ugly.
Yeah, she was only really she did some live shows, and she was on that, like when they do those covers and that, what's that website? I forget now.
Right, YouTube channel.
Yeah, where they do those weird random covers, and they did that Pet Shop Boys song.
Right.
She sang that with them. But well, I guess. Yeah, I miss her. I kind of miss some of the more theatrical parts of it when they used to have the whole like weird extended cast and.
Right.
But I'm not sure if those people left or they just don't care, because like we were talking about earlier, when they came back after We Will Kill Everything, and they went back to more metal sound on Bound to the Rise. They kind of stripped down the stage show too a bit. Right. More straightforward.
Yeah, and I mean, I gotta imagine like doing that whole rigmarole is just like logistically just a fucking nightmare.
I'm sure it costs a fortune, yeah.
Like going to tour is expensive regardless, like having that many people and props and
yeah. Yeah, I kind of miss some of that stuff, but oh well. They seem to be getting kind of like in the middle now. They're not doing a full huge show they used to do, but they're not doing it as sort of minimal as I've seen them do it before, which is cool. I'm sure that show this week will be blood filled and have all sorts of weird characters. I'm sure they'll chop off El Presidente's head and not get in trouble for it. So.
Right. Well, sweet. think that is a little shorter on this one, but I think that pretty much covers the new Gwar record. But that being said, I think we're still looking forward to the next one and just more of Gwar existing out there in the universe.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad that they didn't call it quits after Brockie died.
Right.
That would have been the bigger disappointment, I think. I'd rather have a okay album from Gwar than to have them had stop altogether.
Right. Completely agreed. Anyway, so I guess unless some miracle, I guess probably next time we do this, we'll be doing your end lists.
Ooh.
And it's going to be a lot of fun because it just lists are nerdy and fun. And I know everyone does them, and I also don't give a fuck because I'm doing it. So
I don't give a shit. I don't care if everyone does them.
It's important, okay?
Like why would you hate them? Like what's the big deal? Like, oh, so you get to like be exposed to things you weren't before?
Right.
Bunch of metal dudes talk about metal for a while. Like, who cares?
Yeah, but finding a metal dude who will say he hasn't heard of something is like so fucking rare. I was like, oh, I've heard of them.
Like, yeah.
I don't know if I've heard. The name is familiar.
They're just the fallback. I like their old stuff.
Right. And I think you're going to be able to get through most of your list pronouncing it this time.
Oh, yeah, it's true. I don't think. Well,
there's a few on there, but it's not near as foreign as last year was when we first did this. So.
Yeah, if only I could speak, 7, 8, 10 different languages.
That's what I want to know. I want to like talk to some. Actually, I know a Finnish guy. Should be like, look, do you even fucking know what this is? Like, is it like just a Finnish word, or is it more made up bullshit metal band name that even the Finns don't understand what's going on?
Right. Is it like a word like Google is a word? Like.
Right. Well, all right then. I guess we will see all of you folks next time for year-end shenanigans. And yeah, peace.
Good.